I do not, unfortunately, get to rest for long, as I am soon brought screaming into wakefulness by the pain of getting immolated alive. I spasm, trying to run, but something grabs me and hauls me further into the flames. "Shut up or I'll shut you up," Gladra snaps. "What? Oh. The fire's not real, it's Gladra's soul. It still hurts like hell though." She'd grabbed me and pulled me over her shoulder after I. Well. No time to think about that. I have to get out of this searing pain. Put me down, please," I plead, flailing around a little. She ignores me, turning and walking back towards the wagon. In fact, the horrible woman takes a deep breath, and the heat of her soul starts to increase. The pain licks at me more and more and more, until the sheer agony is all I can think about. I start to scream again, crying and begging for her to stop. She stops, exhaling. The heat flows out into the world, disappearing from my senses as the great tempest of her soul calms into a warm breeze. I stop thrashing, relief spreading through me. "Better?" she asks. "Yes," I breathe. "Much." "Good," the High Templar grunts, tossing me into the wagon. I land hard on my butt. "Next time, just tell me you're sensitive to mana." I blink. Is that what her soul storm is made of? I didn't know I was, I admit. This has never happened before. She tilts her head, the chitin helmet shifting. "Really? Sit still." Her hands move so fast, I can barely follow the patterns. The heat within her soul rises ever so slightly, gathers, and dissipates once more. I feel a pressure around me, the same sort of weight as when Remus drew his sword. "Does that hurt?" she asks. "No, not really," I answer. She scowls, and the pressure increases. The air is like a soup, but it's still not painful in the slightest. "Still nothing," I tell her. So you're sensitive to mana, but only when it's being channeled." "What does that mean?" I ask. "It means you're going to have a bitch of a time around me," she answers. "Most mages don't channel mana when they're not casting. I do, however. It helps with prepared spells, it's a good workout, and it brings me closer to the Mistwatcher. The danger is of little consequence to people with actual talent." Penelope, who had been politely eavesdropping behind her, scowls. "Yeah, ouch. So basically, mana hurts like hell, but I only feel it when it's in someone else's soul. That's weird. Would I hurt myself if I channeled mana? No, that doesn't make sense. If I'm a natural mage, presumably I'm channeling mana whenever I use my spooky stuff, right? Wait. I need to back my thought process up a bit. What happened? Penta was in control, so I started trying to look at my own soul, which prompted. Maybe I shouldn't think about this, I'm just going to want to hatch again. It's like trying not to scratch an itch. I might need Penta's help here. Wait, fuck, where's Penta? I put my hand over my pouch, and thankfully I feel the little slime soul safely inside the rat we brought. Oh, thank goodness. She must have fled in there to avoid the excruciating pain. I don't want her to stay in that rat for too long, so I poke at her. She flinches, retreating deeper into the pouch. I try again, more gently. Hesitantly, she oozes out of the rat and slips into my hand. "How does channeling mana bring you closer to the Mistwatcher, anyway?" I ask. I doubt Gladra can notice Penta without really looking hard for her, but distracting her while the little slime moves seems like a wise decision anyway. The High Templar chuckles in response to my question. "Mana comes from the Mistwatcher, of course. Everything does, to some extent. The islands fly, the sky glows, the rains fall. All of this is done in accordance to its indomitable will. Mana is the physical manifestation of that will on the world, and when we use it for ourselves, we are merely borrowing." She holds out both hands and her soul stirs. I feel the raging, horrible heat that burned me when I touched her. She pulls it in from outside, sucking it from somewhere I cannot see. It changes within her, becoming a storm of fire. I see a frozen, smoking crystal form above one of her hands. Above the other, the air wavers, shaking and wobbling like a mirage. When I cast a spell, I am taking a minuscule fraction of the Mistwatcher's power and shaping it. I tell the world take all heat above my right hand and move it above my left, and the world obeys, because the Mistwatcher's power is above that of the world itself. She claps her hands together, and the resulting shockwave nearly shatters my eardrums. The spell ends, and her soul returns to tranquility. I never saw her move her fingers around. But I thought she's a learned mage? All magic is like this, she continues. This is a fact whether you worship the Mistwatcher or not. To me, worshipping the source of my strength seems only reasonable. Not that I suspect it makes one whit of difference. I frown. Why not? You'll see when we reach the edge. Lay back and rest for a bit. We need you in fighting shape so you can go poison my ex. Wait, what? Gladra winks, then her soul flares back to a scorching inferno. She moves towards the front of the wagon, shouting at other Templars to get moving again. Penelope hops in beside me and the cart starts to move again, leaving me with Penta and Penelope, alone in the wagon. I want to apologize to Penta, but she's taking her sweet time swimming up my arm. I'm curious about something else anyway. So, what do you think about all that Mistwatcher is magic stuff, Penelope? She scowls, huffing out a blast of air to flick a strand of curly hair away from her face. Well, I'm hardly one to argue with the Annihilator herself, but mana is more or less all-pervasive. The theory that it comes from the Mistwatcher is mainly substantiated by the fact that islands closer to the mists have higher mana density, while the higher an island is, the lower mana density it has. As much as that seems related to the Mistwatcher, I feel like it should go without saying that there are many other possible explanations for it. To me, it seems more likely that the Mistwatcher resides below the mist because mana density is higher there rather than the mana density being higher there because the Mistwatcher is present. Huh? Okay. Penta finally makes her way into my neck and settles in, so I wait. She'll probably know I want to talk with her when she catches up on memory reading. How do you not find it strange that your method of apology starts with me reading the memory of your intention to apologize? Penta whispers, covering my mouth. Rowan says I find a lot of strange things normal. But there are lots of things I think are strange, too. Rowan is a very odd con artist. The way you and Penelope would interpret your memories on the matter are very different. I don't doubt it. But, hey, are you all right? Yes. I'm as all right as I'll ever be, I suppose. What does that mean? My body sighs. Well, I'm held prisoner while my one lifeline rapidly loses sanity and intends to use me in a plot to commit genocide on my species, and then you start fucking with your own soul in front of a High Templar. Hey, you weren't exactly staying low profile when you were sassing that High Templar yourself. You keep breaking your own cover. I thought you were going to pretend to be me so you don't get caught? I don't want to be you. Penta snaps quietly. I want to be me. Yeah. I want you to be you as well, Penta. I like you. But I'm just saying, if you're going to get on my case about doing something dumb in front of a High Templar, wasn't this supposed to be an apology to me? Oh, right. Yeah, it was, sorry. I don't know what that was, but I definitely lost control. I'm sorry for scaring you. My body takes a deep breath. Thank you for meaning that. And for saying so. I was also scared I'd lost you, you know. The way you were thinking when you were in that fugue. That was the most frightening thing of all. What do you mean? My whole body shudders. Vita, the longer I stay in you, the more you become a part of me. But I don't want to be whatever you are. I just want to be a normal person. I want to take my friends on shopping trips and take nice baths and eat good food and not worry about torturing anyone else to get it. I want to be human. Well, you're not human. I don't know if I am either. We're never going to be normal. It's just not what we are. I know that. Do you think I don't know that? I think back to when I thought she was Penelope. To our bath trip and how good it felt, to being shown my own face and watching her and Nora laugh together all the way home. Well, you're already better at being human than I am. I guess I just don't understand why you want it so much. Vita. But that doesn't matter. Maybe I don't get people as well as you do. But I want you to have what you want. I want you to be happy. I don't think you see all the ways you scare me. Then tell me. Talk to me. We can let you have more time to do stuff when it's safe. We can work on figuring out how to get you a body. We're friends, right? I don't know. Are we? Penta snaps, raising her voice a little. You barely even know me, and I'm certainly not treated like your equal. You call us friends but then lock me up whenever I'm in the way. You call us friends and then threaten to murder me every damn day. If you only care about me when it's convenient, you don't care about me at all. Am I your friend, or am I your prisoner? Keep it down, Penelope hisses. If the others hear you they'll think you're talking to me. Besides, what makes you think you deserve to be anything more than a prisoner, you parasite? Blood drains from my face as Penta's horror mounts further. Penelope, I never wanted to. I don't give a shit what you wanted. I hope you relive every torture in Vita's head until you die. Now shut up. Oh, jeez. Penta, do you want me to talk to? She detaches from my neck, leaving me in sole control of my body again. I frown. Well, I have some things I want to say anyway, with or without her input. I stretch a little, looking at my teammate carefully before speaking. Penelope. Do you know why I spared her? I asked quietly. Penelope just glowers at me, raw hate burning in her gaze. Her soul tells me more than that, though. Her song is painful and afraid. I know she's a monster, I whisper to her. She hurt you, and she would have kept hurting you if I hadn't stepped in. She's scary, and she's dangerous, but she can't control what she is any more than I can. I could be killed just for existing, and I've killed people to keep that under wraps and stay alive. I don't want that, but it's how it is. How can I condemn her for the same? I've said it before, Vita, Penelope hisses back. We're doing it your way. But let's be perfectly clear, we're doing it your way because I owe you, not because I think it is even a remotely intelligent decision. If you expect me to like it, you're going to remain disappointed. And if that monster keeps trying to talk to me, it's going to earn you a week of heartburn. I swallow. I don't know what heartburn is, but it sounds really bad. Okay. Sorry. Is it alright if I go back to talking to her, though? Just make sure your puppeteer stays quiet. You may have forgotten that we were surrounded by fucking Templars, but I promise that after your showing earlier they have not forgotten you. Collapsing in the forest like that. Why they haven't turned this cart around and declared you mentally unfit for the job, I haven't the faintest idea. I owe you, Vita. I was almost growing to like you. But there is only so far I will tolerate this flight of fancy. I nod, poking Penta with my finger, smooshing the skin under which she is currently pouting. She slithers back into my spine again, taking over. What? We were talking about how you feel like a prisoner. She takes a shaky breath. Right. I'm sorry I keep scaring you when I think about killing you. You know I don't actually plan to kill you, right? I don't kill most of the people I think about killing. The fact that you are legitimately trying to reassure me there just makes it even more terrifying. I groan internally. Penta, have you heard the phrase beggars can't be choosers? Well, you have, so obviously. I am sorry that I am scary. I scare me too. I'm also sorry that your life sucks. But you know what? Get over it. You're stuck with me now, and I'm not fucking sharing my body with you because I have to. You don't get to be a rich girl anymore. You don't get to go on shopping trips or take nice baths or eat good food. You're not Penelope, and you never were. Quit lamenting losing control of someone else's life. I just give up on being human, like you have? Is that what you're so afraid of? You're not human. You are a fucking mind control slime. And you know what? I think that's cool. Well, don't. Penta hisses. I feel my soul squirm in irritation. Why shouldn't I like who you are? What do you want from me? She takes a deep breath. Time to myself. To be myself, even if it's not convenient for you. Okay, we'll work things out. Anything else? To feel safe. Yeah, well, you and me both, Penta. But unfortunately, I know. We never will be. Not unless we get stronger. She chuckles humorlessly. Stronger? You think we're going to stand up to Gladra the fucking Annihilator one day? We will always be small fish in a big pond, Vita. One day, we're going to get swallowed up. Not if we swallow enough other fishes first. And at what point do those fish become people? Oh damn, if only I had someone worried about that who could always watch my back. You can't seriously be asking the mind control slime to be your moral safety net. You know exactly how serious I am. She sighs. How are you so okay with this? She asks. This is far beyond abnormal. Giving me your body, Your memories. You are trusting me with so much. You know the kind of things I can do to you. When people go out to their way to do good things for me, I've yet to go wrong from extending them trust in return. This is just a lot more trust than usual on account of the alternative being your death. I don't think you should die. Is that really so weird? Like, sure, you having all of my memories is a bit scary, but the body control stuff? May. If we weren't in so much danger because of it, I wouldn't care. It's just a body. Just a body, huh? Well, when you discard your pathetic trappings, can I have them in your stead? I don't really have any pathetic trappings to call my own. Did I really think that? Well, yeah, my body kind of sucks, you know? If I could live without it, that'd be neat. I don't think that's what I meant, though. I have to disagree with you. Your body might not be perfect, but it's infinitely better than being an ooze. Though I'd still rather have my own. And we'll still work on it. In the meantime, wanna see how long you can walk around without me trying to perform some kind of terrifying self-soul fuckery? Yes. I'd like that a lot. Then go have fun, and be sure to smack me if I try to eat a Templar. She chuckles and scoots out of the wagon, smiling on the outside as I smile within. She stretches my arms as I try very hard not to stretch anything. It's been a weird day, but by my standards, still not a bad one. As the penumbra of the next island hits, we find a clearing to rest and start a fire for the night. I help the Templars go around collecting kindling, and before long the strongest thermomancer there is acts as a glorified match to get us all started. Meals are unpacked from the wagon and cooked, and it's actually among the best food I've ever had, on par with the Hunters Guild mess hall. Not that the taste of food has ever been super important to me, but it surprises me all the same. Even more of a surprise is seeing all the Templars take their helmets off to eat. I'd been half expecting some horrible secret to be hidden under those ever-present helmets, but no. A bunch of friendly faces greet me, normal men and women with short-cropped haircuts happily talking and joking around the fire. They've all been so stiff and professional on the trip so far it's hard to remember that there are people under there. Without the helmets, it's like that barrier is shattered, and the way they joke and chat with each other reminds me quite a bit of my own team. Seeing Templar Dazzle's face for the first time, I find it difficult not to notice how handsome he is. Short blonde hair, a soft, clean-shaven chin, and a straight-toothed grin all strike me as the signs of someone who's had cosmetic biomancy work. But damn, cosmetic biomancy work looks great. I catch myself staring a few times, to my increasing dismay. Come on, puberty. Don't make me fall for a Templar. That would be a really embarrassing way to die. You can't possibly be serious, Hans. One of the female Templars laughs uproariously. It's true. The other Templar responds. There was so much mud on my armor, they wouldn't let me into the inner city. They didn't even believe me when I said I was a Templar. Ha. That's what you get for tripping. It was the middle of the night. How am I supposed to know there's a patch of mud right in front of me? So anyway, I have to walk all the way back to the nearest spigot, but I'm already late for completing my route, so by the time I get back they've sent a dispatch after me. Oh man, that's great. She laughs. Your captain must have been so pissed. Did I tell you about how I busted an entire Gleeshran ring by accident? What? No. Elaine, how have I not heard this one? It happened the other day. I was on break and heading into this medicine shop, yeah? And the guy behind the counter just takes one look at me and bolts out the back. I'm confused as hell, so I walk into the next room and Gleeshrooms everywhere. I never would have found them if he just sold me the damn pain medication. The Templars howl with laughter, and I can't help but smile a little. The people I've been so scared of are also normal. It almost worries me more than if they had all been hideous beasts. At least High Templar Gladra is the exception to the people who look normal under their helmets rule. Her face is normal enough, although her light wrinkles are nowhere near as pronounced as I'd expect from someone who claimed to be fighting in a war 40 years ago. The top of her head, on the other hand, is a terrifyingly inhuman sight. Her entire scalp, around and behind her ears all the way to her neck, is a bald, engraved chrome, solid metal. Power dances along the magical inscriptions which seem to have replaced most of her skull. It's an intimidating sight to behold, adding a little weight of mana density to the figurative weight of her presence. I spend a long while listening to the Templars laugh and joke, relaxing more and more. Some of them even talk with me, asking about our hunter team and our latest mission. I guess they don't know it was also my only mission. I have to glare at someone who seems excited at the prospect of me being a hunter even though you're so young. But other than that, I actually have a great time. Yet soon it's dark, and for once I'm not the one called to keep watch. After such a long day, Penta and I are both exhausted. I gladly start to drift off to sleep, feeling most of the Templars do the same, one by one. Though to my annoyance, I'm jolted awake when Gladra starts to move. I peep an eye open, watching her approach Dazzle and pull him aside. She starts weaving a spell and once it's cast the both of them go perfectly silent, even though their lips start to move. Silence bubble. No eavesdropping for me, I guess. I try to close my eyes, but Penta keeps them open. Penelope can lip read, she murmurs. So she can too. Well, all right. My slime buddy whispers the conversation under our breath as the two Templars speak to each other. So, what do you think the deal is with that girl? High Templar Gladra asks him. I swallow. Oh, shit, that's not good. I don't know, High Templar, Dazzle says. I'm not sure she knows either. Right, but a sensitivity to channeled magic implies animancy involvement, yes. As the most dangerous of the many possibilities, I think that would be wise to watch out for. Gladra claws at her chrome head, groaning. Watch it, damn it. I just wanted to go poison Remus, take his sword and maybe melt his stupid bloody island. I don't want to have to kill a child and get stuck in mental decontamination for a week. I don't think that's a good option anyway, High Templar. A child somehow being an animancer is the most dangerous possibility, but not the most likely. We have evidence of animancy involvement, but no reason to believe she is the source. At least, not so far as I'm able to tell. Have you seen her cast anything, High Templar? No, but if you want to go really paranoid, we might not be able to tell because we're compromised. Fuck, this is the Oz crisis all over again. You think she's one of his that we missed? A victim? Yes, it's possible. She's certainly showing symptoms of being tampered with. Have you noticed her talking to herself? Suddenly changing mood? She could be a splice. So we either missed one of ourses or there's another animancer running around in Skyhope. Fucking fantastic. Well, perhaps she is just a dual-talented girl with scouting and death touch abilities, like she says. Gladra rolls her eyes. Like fucking hell she is. Well, I don't want to run a child through over this suspicion either, High Templar, so I advise we merely keep an eye on her for now. If we actually catch any instances of a crime, we can reconsider our action from there. In the meantime, she's a significant asset in our mission to eradicate the Nora. True. A talent that lets her free her damn self? Actually. If she's a splice that could be part of her fit earlier today. Another person in her head triggering instability? Poor little thing. Either way, she and that plague mage are our best shot at a rescue right now. If she turns out not to be an enemy of the church and state, we need to recruit her before Vesuvius does. Fuck drinking those poison concoctions every day. As long as she is neither the enemy of church nor state, and also as long as she does not get herself killed by screaming and passing unconscious in the forest. Gladra snorts. Or that. How the hell did such an insane girl survive as a hunter? If we're right, she shouldn't even be half this coherent. Well, what the fuck? If she manages, she manages. I don't think she's walked into a church in her lifetime, but when we hit the edge I'll introduce her to the big guy personally. See if we can make someone faithful out of her. I have certainly seen it work before. I'll speak with her too, and Third Lady Vesuvius as well. She has known the girl longer than we. And High Templar? Yes, Dazzle. If you wish her to be positively disposed to us, perhaps you should consider tormenting her less. Gladra snorts and simply gets up to walk away. I close my eyes, pretending to sleep. So they suspect me of something, huh? At least it's nothing they're going to outright kill me over, but it's certainly not going to help me sleep at night. Arg, this is too much. What the hell am I going to do now? Here's a crazy idea, Penta whispers. Just go talk to him about it. You're right. That is a crazy idea. Why? Penta asks. Is telling him you can read lips going to make him any more likely to kill you? Besides, I want to know what a splice is. People like being right. Lean into someone else's assumptions and they'll happily believe you. It could be a good cover story. Why would we want a cover story that suggests animancy tampering? That'll prompt them to investigate. Besides, we wouldn't need a cover story in the first place if you didn't keep being so obvious when you're in control. Yes, well, not being in control is more difficult than I had anticipated. I'm sure you know a thing or two about troublesome instincts, oh fellow monster. I sigh. She's got me there, I guess. All right. I'll think about it. I know. Good night, Vita. Good night, Penta. I sleep better than I expected to, and when day breaks it doesn't take long for us and the Templars to pack up the wagon and be back on the road. I grab my spear and poke around with it for a bit before finally working up the courage to go ask Dazzle for tips. The two of us practice for a while, and I drop my pace to put us a decent distance behind the wagon after some time. Nothing dangerously far, but far enough that I doubt anyone is listening to us. I take a deep breath and go for the plunge. What's a splice? Penta smacks me in the leg with the butt of my spear. I guess she didn't think that was diplomatic enough. He looks up, though unlike the night before he is once again fully helmeted. I can't tell how he feels from his face. Though if the stillness of his soul is any indication, I'd say surprised. How did you? I can lip read, I answer bluntly. You and your boss had quite the conversation last night. He sighs. I see. How much did you catch? Pretty much all of it. Thanks for, encouraging the High Templar to be nicer. And also to not kill me, I guess. I have to say, it's hard to stay offended at how small and young I appear to be if it's winning me even a little bit of sympathy from someone who has the Annihilator appended to her name. It was my pleasure, Hunter Vita. What you're asking for is classified knowledge, however. I'll need to ask you not to eavesdrop on conversations clearly intended for private company in the future, if we're to work together. Damn. I guess we won't get any info out of him. Oh well, no more poking the bear. Better go back to training. How about, Penta says, cutting in and taking control, you just give me a hint. I wouldn't want you to leak your order's secrets, but I find myself somewhat desperate for insight. He sighs. How about you describe your abilities and concerns to me, and I'll see if there is anything I can do to help. Penta scowls, and I mentally stick my tongue out at her. For that, she can be the one doing the spear drills. I'm gonna tune out. Works for me, she mutters, getting into the flow of the movements. We don't talk about the subject anymore that day, but Templar Dazzle and I spend a lot of time on spear training, even sparring a few times. He kicks my ass, but not in that rough way Remus always does. He stops before any of his blows land to point out where I made a mistake. I've actually been learning a lot, figuring things out about fighting that I just haven't been aware of before. Gladra also seems to be taking Dazzle's advice and mostly leaving me alone, which is greatly appreciated. By the end of the day, no one has even attempted to murder me. I count that as a win. The next day goes pretty similarly. Dazzle is a patient and kind teacher. A little too kind, sometimes. It can be grating how fragile he treats me, but I resist the urge to complain. Nearly all the Templars are calm and polite, and a few of them join Dazzle and I for training a few times throughout the day. One is kind of a jerk, though. Templar Frederick. So, how'd they let a runt like you into the Hunters, anyway? He asks, walking over to where Dazzle and I are practicing. They must be desperate if they're picking up preteens. I just got lucky, I say, holding back a scowl. I've got a good scout talent and they happen to need a scout. Oh yeah? Wow. Nothing like a scout that screams her head off on the job. I'm sure your team must love that. I stop trying to hold back a scowl and just scowl. Did you wanna fight, or what? He snorts. Kid, where did you grow up? Homeless in an alleyway. Why? Yeah, you have that street rat vibe, he sneers. Which is why you shouldn't be dumb enough to go picking fights with people that are stronger than you. Asshole. I stare hungrily at his soul as he walks off. It's all purpley and it smells like meat stew. I wanna eat him. Penta bites the inside of my cheek on purpose. Ow. I was kidding. No, you weren't, she murmurs quietly. Oh. Dazzle clears his throat. Sorry about him, Vita. If there's anything I can. It's fine, I answer, cutting him off. I'm gonna take a break, though. Sorry. Of course. I stow my spear and walk back towards the wagon, trying not to pay attention to my soul's writhing and squirming as the dull ache of confinement steadily gets worse. I'm just so easily pissed off lately. I don't like it, not one bit. Thinking about eating a guy just because he was kinda rude? Even if it wasn't horrible, which it is, that kind of attitude will get me killed. No matter how much it hurts, I've got to keep myself trapped inside. I'm starting to get a little worried about what I might be. Penta then proceeds to spend the next half an hour berating me for only just now starting to be concerned. Bah, what does she want from me? It's not that weird to be hungry. A growing girl's gotta eat.